To simulate the assessment process, two candidates will be shown performing the task in this video.
Good morning, I am Shane Mary Akbabila, your assessor. We will now begin the assessment process for the qualification of electronic products, assembly, and servicing NC2. I have here the required tools for evidence gathering are observation, checklist, rating sheet. Candidate number 1, this is our assessment area where you are going to prepare to assemble electronic product. Please read the instruction again.
Given the necessary materials, tools, and equipment, the candidate must be able to perform the knowledge, skills, and attitude required to assemble electronic products and systems for consumer, industrial uses, and applications. It is consisted of identifying and preparing electronic components and circuits, preparing or making printed circuit board modules, mounting and soldering of components, assembling electronic products, and performing mechanical and electrical or electronic tests in 8 hours.
If you have any question, you may ask now because as soon as the assessment begins, you can no longer ask me. Any question?
Ma'am, I don't have further questions.
In that regard, you may begin. Please be informed that after the demonstration, there will be an oral questioning.
Okay, ma'am.
Conduct assessment in accordance with the methodologies specified in the evidence plan and the specific instruction for the competency assessor. Implement the evidence gathering process and ensure its validity, reliability, fairness, and flexibility. Observe the candidate and keep notes of all candidates' performance during the entire conduct of assessment. These notes will be used for the provision of feedback to the candidate's performance during the assessment. Collect appropriate evidence and match compatibility to the element, performance criteria, range of variables, and evidence guide in the relevant unit of competency. Judge the evidence in terms of the dimension of competency, task skills, task management skills, contingency management skills, and job or role environment skills. Judge the evidence in terms of validity, consistency, currency, recency, authenticity, and sufficiency.
Describe a troubleshooting procedure for a faulty power supply.
To troubleshoot a faulty power supply, begin by ensuring the power source is functional and visually inspect the unit for signs of physical damage or overheating. Then, use multimeter to check the output voltage, examine all the connection, and, if necessary, substitute with a known working power supply to confirm the fault.
What safety steps should be followed when soldering component onto a circuit board?
When soldering components onto a circuit board, it is essential to wear safety goggles, work in a well-ventilated area, and use soldering stand to prevent accidental burns, and additionally, one should avoid inhaling soldering fumes, keep flammable materials away, and always unplug the soldering iron when not in use.
What will you do if soldering iron stop working during assembly?
If the soldering iron stop working during assembly, I will first unplug it and check for obvious issues such as a blown fuse, lost connection, or damage the power cord. If the problem persists, I will replace it with functional soldering iron to avoid delays and ensure the quality of the assembly.
How would you handle a PCB with a damaged trace?
If I encounter a PCB with a damaged trace, I would first identify the broken section and carefully scrape away the soldering mask to expose the copper on a both end of the damaged trace. Then I would use a small piece of wire or a copper jumper to reach the gap and securing it with a soldering to restore the electrical connection.
What are the key occupational health and safety policies that must be followed when preparing an assembly workplace?
When preparing an assembly workplace, key occupational health and safety policies including ensuring the area is clean and free of hazard, while also providing proper ventilation to avoid exposure to hazard foams, and also workers must use appropriate personal protective equipment, follow safe handling procedures for tools and materials, and be trained in emergency protocols.
The candidate number 2 will also able to answer the question, though some of her answers are incorrect. Record and rating sheets, details of evidence collected, and judgment made about the candidate performance.